GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in Rochester, New York. This is the JC Money Show with your host, John Cimino, aka JC Money. And now, here's John.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the JC Money Show here in the Gear Radio Network. My voice is back, and I am back, and I am happy to be back. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, if you are a Patreon subscriber, thanks for watching me, because you have the ability to, especially if you're on Tier 2, yeah. But if you're on Tier 1, you get to hear without commercials. Of course, you got in the free feed, you get to hear with commercials, and I appreciate all of that. As I don't know, man, I'm happy to go. I'm knocking out some rust here. So on today's show, just give you a little quick recap on things that have been going on and what I'd like to do as I continue to move this operation forward here. So some of you have noticed my blogging that I've started to do again, particularly on Patreon. Again, there's a lot of stuff that I am aiming to do and I am doing. And I have a bit of a presence more on Patreon now than I did before. And yes, it's behind a paywall, but it's not really a whole lot. And one of the things I always tend to hear, especially for folks like me, is why would anyone want to pay to hear you? Well, don't. It's as simple as that. I'm gonna still do what I do. You know, and whoever pays to listen to it pays to listen to it. They're going to get shout outs. Hell, if you pay enough, I might just freaking give you studio naming rights. I'm selling all that too. But it's a business about money, man. And that's, it's not necessarily just the gimmick of the JC Money name and all of that. But I appreciate everybody tuning in. And hey, we just wrapped up UPW's March Meltdown, and it was a meltdown for me, pretty much. To recap what happened there, originally going into the event, it was supposed to be Chris Caden defending the Legacy Championship against me. Last man standing match where I was going to beat the shit out of Caden and take his belt, which is what everybody expected and certainly what I expected. And then a monkey wrench kind of got thrown into play there. If you were in attendance, you noticed Hellcat, UPW owner, the boss, made his presence felt as well, and he was a little tired of my shenanigans, which isn't surprising, but he is a little tired of my shenanigans. I go into the ring to start the show and basically call Caden out. Caden comes out. And then UPW champion Shane Stetson, along with his father, the great legendary Chip Stetson, came out and they attacked Caden, read him his rights, beat the crap out of him. Out came Caden, out came Hellcat. And Hellcat comes out and introduces Maximo Suave, reintroduces him to the crowd, my old rival there. And it ends up being a 6-person tag match, but we didn't know who the third person on Team Defiance was, because Risk, who carries a gigantic title called the All Go No Quit title or something like that. I don't know. It's a massive if you have the chance, if you are in whatever area that Risk wrestles in, and you see that belt, it's a workout just holding the damn thing. Dude can't even wear it around his waist. It's so freaking huge. It's nice looking, but it's so damn big. I saw it after the show yesterday. I was like, damn, dude, this is freaking heavy, man. But anyway, so Risk was challenging Victor Lord for the UPW No Limits Championship. Big Blue, don't think I forgot about you. Anywho, he was challenging Victor Lord for so I knew it wasn't him. There wasn't really anybody else in Defiance that I thought there. So I'm thinking it's 3-on-2. It's going to be me and the Stetsons, which breaking down the wall straight shoot here. Bucket list checked off there. Obviously my story with the Stetsons is long, and 23 years worth of stories and friendship there, and to be teaming with Shane Stetson too. There have been some people that have been like, oh, again, you're in the supporting role kind of thing. And to me, at my point, at this stage of my, pro wrestling life, I am perfectly fine where, where I am. I'm not a young, I'm young in life, but I'm old in athletics. And I understand that. So I feel, maybe 10 years ago, certainly 20 years ago, me would probably have been like, no, I'm in the main event. I should be the champion in this, that, and me. It's like, dude, I'm still happy to be here. I'm having a lot of fun. I love working with the current crop that's there. I love, and not just that's there, even the crop that's not there any longer. And they're over on the ground, and they're over at ground zero. Like I still love those guys. I love Greed and Tiger Kid is over there now. And regardless of whether Tiger Smith and I are speaking, we're not speaking at all. My beef is with him, or my story, my heat, or whatever you want to call it, is with him. It's not with his son. And I was very happy to see Tiger Kid start training at ground zero and getting out of that garage, and B, make an appearance at Excite Wrestling the 2 weeks ago. That was great to see. I was very happy for him. I sent him a message telling him, dude, keep it up, man. Good job. And he responded in kind, like, my beef never with him. I hope he does well. I always thought he had potential. So now I'm glad he's there at ground zero, being able to see it. But, just a lot, I have no, aside from those Binghamton shitheads like LDC and Zimmer and those guys, not all of those guys, but really those two. I don't really hate anybody in wrestling now. I'm pretty happy with my position. I'm pretty happy with where I am. I'm pretty happy with the direction, and I'm pretty happy that there is options in Rochester. I think options is good. I've always thought options were good. I made a career out of helping other promotions that were the alternative to Upstate Pro Wrestling. And, just because I'm back with UPW doesn't mean that I wish ill will on other alternatives, because to me tells me wrestling is alive and wrestling is thriving, and there is still a market for it here in Rochester and abroad as well. But notwithstanding, back to the show. Defiance, as far as I knew, there wasn't anybody else there as part of Defiance, so I thought it was going to be 3-on-2. And then out comes a damn Easter bunny. The Brainbuster Bunny was what it was called, or what this character was called, and we didn't know who was underneath the thing. And for the record, I gotta give the person underneath the bunny suit a lot of props, because in that ring, I don't think anybody fully knows this unless you're actually there. The lights that shine down in the ring, yes, it's nice to, spotlight, you get to see everything, but my God, it is so hot. and so when that happened, when it's like 100 degrees inside that ring, and I know I'm sweating. I wear all black, but I have a tank top on. I'm still the bunny was in a damn bunny suit. Like, there was it was a thick suit. And I'm thinking, as I'm on the other side, I'm like, pure exhaustion should hit, and this should be an easy one. Oh, we end the match. I was unfortunately the recipient of a power bomb, a Shield-like style triple threat power bomb, where the Easter Bunny and Defiance, OG Defiance, Caden and Maximo, did a triple power bomb to me on top of Easter eggs, plastic Easter eggs. And the crowd went home happy. It was great. It didn't feel the best, but that's wrestling for you. Proud of the performance, proud of the show, proud of everybody there. They really gave a very, very, very good effort, and the crowd responded in kind. It was a great element. It was a good show, and I'm very proud of them, and actually looking forward now to the next show, which will be at Grease Ridge Mall on Friday, April 19th. We called it Brawl at the Mall, but I don't know that we're going to be calling it that anymore, because there was another wall being broken down here. For those of you not in Rochester, there was a brawl at the Grease Ridge Mall, like a legitimate one that was not a good scene or a good element or anything. Several weeks ago, police were called. It was about 100 people. So probably, I don't know that we'll go by the Brawl at the Mall moniker again, even though there's been 6 of them. And I've been fortunate enough to be part of 2 of those. That was a bucket list thing that I had as well too. And coming back to UPW, knowing that they did the mall shows, I really wanted to do a Grease Ridge Mall show, and I've done 2, and I'm on my way to doing my 3rd one, and I really enjoy those. That's a hell of an element. It's really very fun. So if you are in the area, and even if you're not in the area and want to just come by, watch the show. It's at center court of the Grease Ridge Mall food court, right in front of, believe it or not, J.C. Penney's. So that should make your chance for me a little easier there. You guys like chant the J.C. Penney thing, although you didn't do that the last couple of shows. I don't know why, but either way, it's great. It was great to see everybody in the crowd, and I look forward to the April 19th show at the mall. I don't know who I'm wrestling yet, but I know I will be there. So get your tickets, pay attention to the UPW social media page, of course, on my page as well. I will share all of the information. If you are a tier 2 subscriber on my Patreon page, I'll knock off a little something on a ticket for you there, because you're a Patreon listener. I would appreciate all of, you support me. I'm going to do what I can to support you back, however I can. And, that extends beyond just, me putting out podcasts and content and things like that. So, again, great show. I was very, very happy with that. And then, now I'm approaching what I like to call, in the personal front, a little bit of a slower season. It won't be too long. So I'll have a little bit more visibility. I'll have a little bit more presence, not just podcasting, but, at the shows, at different types of events. The Red Wing season is starting up, so you never know. You may see Freddie Miller somewhere along the way during the Red Wings season. And if you don't know who Freddie Miller is, I'm not talking about the voice of Georgia Championship Wrestling from the 1980s. Freddie Miller impromptu story. I'll have to maybe have Grant Anderson on to really share that story, if he's up for it, depending on whom else might be listening. But that was fun. It was a great time. Again, thanks to everybody that attended the show. And the best, as I always say, has yet come. I'm aiming to do a lot more in terms of the JC Money show, going back to the variety format. So it's not just going to be straight up wrestling talk. I will be talking sports. I don't know how much news I'm going to talk. I'll be talking sports. I'll be talking life, and then I'm gonna start getting some guests back on here, because I do miss the interview aspect and hearing other people tell their stories. I think it's a great thing. But also, even if it's not an interview with a wrestler or a personality around, get Ryan Wolf on here, and we'll tune the pipes for the Trust the Podcast. Of course, get Brandon on here for Listen In. And do those things too. Perez, get his ass back on the freaking microphone. I think that would be a wonderful thing. So We got a lot to do. We got a lot to come. But I wanted to get this out here. Just say thank you again to everybody that attended the UPW show. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and call it a podcast. It was a quick one, but it was something to get out there. So thanks for tuning in one more time. Again, if you are on the Patreon, it's patreon.com/IamJCMoney. That is the JC Money Show on Patreon. You get blogs, you get special podcasts that are specific to Patreon. Sign up. It'd be great. And if you don't like it, cancel it. You can cancel it at any time. But if you prefer the free feed, that is fine too. Just click the subscribe button wherever you are, whatever podcast forum you use, podcast app you use. Click the subscribe button on there. That will actually help us out greatly. So with that being said, I bid you all adieu. So long, everybody. Good night now. Flava Flav, how about a yeah, boy, and I do be farting.
Yeah, boy.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.